Assalamu alaikum, dear friends. How are you? I welcome you here on my training channel. My name is Abdul Khalik. Dear friends, look, I and you and maybe many of the people have seen that there are certain people around us who are seen moving forward for all the time, for most of the time, despite the fact that many or maybe most of the people around them are not able to move forward in the life, to develop, to prosper, to achieve what they are desirous of achieving. So what is the reason that one person or certain people are developing while the rest of the people they are unable to develop and to move forward? Yes, it is the difference of their attitude. It is the difference of their strategy. It is the difference of the way they work. So, my dear friends and fellows, I think that it needs to be talked about. It needs to be debated upon, and that is the reason that we have made it a topic of our discussion. What is the reason that some of the people are moving forward for all the time, so that if at all we come to know the secret they people are availing, then we too shall be able to do all that. So, my dear friend, so we have chosen certain things because these certain things are the attitudes, are the habits of those people who always move forward during their lifetime. These things are only eight in number. So we need to understand. We need to understand on the one hand, we need to practice it on the other hand, so that we too could include ourselves amongst those people who keep moving forward for all the time. Let's look upon all of these eight things one by one. First of all, it is the mindful awakening. What is this mindful awakening? The early bird catches the worm. It is the centuries old proverb, and it is very right. But here, in the case of human, I think that we need to complete our sleep cycle, and the right thing is going to bed early so that we are better able to wake up early and feeling fresh at the same time. If we do wake up early but we are not feeling fresh, it's not good at all. So the first thing is mindful awakening. Also, this mindful awakening include that we need to carry on certain morning rituals. What are these certain morning rituals? In my case, in the case of the Muslim, we need to say the prayer, and we need to say the salah early in the morning prior to the sunset. And then of course it is quite good to read a page of Quran, to listen the beautiful melodious recitation of Quran for a while only, for a few minutes only, then going for a walk, then doing the yoga or the meditation or the mindfulness. So that is how we need to begin our day with. That is a mindful awakening. The second thing is gratitude practice. What is this gratitude practice? We are seen complaining, criticizing about what is not available to me or what are the challenges in my life. I think it is not a good attitude at all. The good attitude is that we need to become grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because we have been given and gifted with plenty of the things. But earlier in the life, and even maybe in the present too, we are taking all of those things for granted, except the few people only. But most of the people we are seen taking all of those things granted. I think we shouldn't be doing that, and we need to become grateful, because if at all we are grateful, we will be even getting better and more items which we desire. So the gratefulness, I think it shift our focus from lose to win. It shift our focus from complaints to the gratitude, from the failure to the success. So that is why it is really essential. Now the next thing, the third thing is that this is embracing impermanence. impermanence. There are certain things which are permanent, but maybe almost all of these things around us, none of these is a permanent one. Everything else is impermanent. Not to talk about the things we ourselves, like the rest of the creatures, the creations of Allah, we are also impermanent. We are going to die. We are going to leave this planet. We are going to leave the surface of the earth, and we are going to become we are going to reach in the belly of the earth. Nothing in this life is permanent. Even maybe the relationships are not permanent. So this is the case. We need to understand this. We need to understand, and once we do understand it, once we accept it wholeheartedly, we need to actually accept it wholeheartedly. What is meant by it? That if at all anything else has gone and no more available to us, it means that we don't need to worry about. We don't need to be, so sad because nothing is. We need to remind ourselves that nothing is permanent here in this world. So, for this reason, we need to embrace the impermanence. We need to embrace the impermanence. Now, the fourth is that mindful eating. What is this mindful eating? I think not only that there are certain things to be taken care of as for the mindful eating is concerned, not to eat or drink anything else which is not good for the health. Then, number one. Then, number two, whatever we are eating or drinking, it must be in a moderate quantity. Number three, during the eating, I think we need to pay maximum attention to our eating, and we need to stop our mind going astray. So dear friends and fellows, we need to focus upon the eating so that we are better able to enjoy more, and it will be digested better as well. Overeating will be stopped up to great extent. So it is the mindful eating. So we are what we eat. So for that reason, we need to be very careful. Mindful eating. And now the next is that daily reflection. What is this daily reflection? We need to keep an eye. We need to look upon our thoughts. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I talking? What am I eating? What am I doing? And what am I not doing? I think that we need to keep an eye. We need to reflect back so that we are better able to correct ourselves. It is so important, my dear friend. Now, the sixth is practice peace. We need to practice the peace. The peace should be practiced instead of spending the time living and sitting at a chaotic or a noisy place. I think we need to declutter, and this decluttering will result in the peace practice, prioritizing the peace. We need to prioritize the peace. Now, the seventh is intention setting. What is this intention setting, by the way, dear friend? Moving from one task to another without much thought, it is not good at all. What is, we need to live according to a plan, according to a to do list, and even more than our to do list, more than our plan, we need to pay attention to what my long term goals are on the one hand and what my core values are on the other hand. We cannot afford to ignore or sacrifice our values at all. The goal must be, the righteous one, and the strategy we have adopted also must be the right one. I think that we need to reflect. We need to intention setting. That is doing everything else intentionally. Now, the eighth and the last is doing less. Now, it might seem counterintuitive that the doing less, but the fact is, busyness and productivity is considered very important, but a frenzy of activity can lead to burnout and decreased productivity. I think that we need to focus on one thing at a time, focus on one task at a time, and give it your full attention. Focus at one task at a time and give it your full attention. Create a space for creativity, for clarity, and mindfulness. Set a sustainable pace. Set a sustainable pace for the day, and avoid stress and exhaustion that comes with the stress and the exhaustion that comes with overwork. So this is actually doing less. It is widely believed that some 80% of the results are produced by some 20% of the work, and vice versa. 20% of the work is produced by 80% of the work. So in this case, I think that we need to do less. Doing less is far better. Doing less but doing right. So that's all from me at the moment. Thank you very much.